So people are struggling with how to do proofs without premises. I'm going to show you how to do it. First thing, copy your goal. Come up here, paste it in as you would in the normal way, so as the last thing. Now you don't have a premise, but that's alright. Because if you remember how the rules work, particularly the rule for negation introduction, you'll see that if your goal sentence, or if the sentence you're trying to get is a negation, the first thing you do is you set up a subproof where you assume the opposite of what you're trying to get. So the goal here is the negation of A is identical with B, A is a dodec, and B is not a dodec. And we try and end that with a contradiction. Always write your rules in as you go. So once you've set up this subproof, write in the rule for negation intro, which is what that subproof structure is designed to get you. So now somehow we have to figure out how we're going to get a contradiction. Well, if you look at what kind of sentence you have, basically what you're doing now is looking at 2 through 4 as though it's its own little argument, with 2 as the premise and the contradiction as the goal. 2 is a conjunction, and it's pretty easy to break apart conjunctions. So A is identical with B, that's from conjunction elim. Dodec A is also from conjunction elim. And then not dodec B is also from conjunction elim. Fantastic. Now, I have to figure out how I'm going to get a contradiction. Well, line 3 tells me A is identical with B, so they're the same thing. Line 4 tells me that A is a dodec, and line 5 tells me that B is not a dodec. But wait a minute. If A and B are the same thing, it's impossible for A to be a dodec and B to not be a dodec. So I can pretty easily exhibit that using way back from chapter 2, the identity elim rule. If A equals B and A is a dodec, I can say, okay, B is a dodec, using the fact that A equals B and A is a dodec, and the identity elimination rule, which if you forgot about that, go back to chapter 2. So now I've got B as a dodec, but wait a minute, here it's telling me in line 5 it's telling me that B is not a dodec, and here it's telling me that B is a dodec. Well, since I have an atomic sentence and the negation of the atomic sentence, I've got a contradiction. And that is how you do a proof without premises.